decision. What do I say? I'm not really a big reader. Oh, sure, I'll take this book. And so I grabbed it from her, and I remember the librarian looking at me. And so I took the book home. I signed it out that day, and I took the book home. And Mary is a cheerleader, and there was a big football game going on that night, and I live right next to the stadium. And I thought, well, right after school, I didn't have basketball practice that night, so I was going to read a little bit. And before you know it, I decided not to go to the game. I was caught. I was hooked into this book, and I think I stayed up until like 3 in the morning with a little flashlight under the covers, finishing the book from start to finish, and I'd never done that before. And it was like a 300-page book. I'd never done that before. And I was up right away the next morning. I was standing in line waiting for the library to open at 7 o'clock, and I remember our librarian, Mrs. Oshu, saying to me, I think this was a life-changing event for you. And I said, I think it was too. And here I am today as an author, a publisher, and it really starts with the love for reading.
And I think that's so important. And what I want people to get from your story, because myself, I'm not a parent. I tell people when people ask me about my children, I tell them I have a nephew. But I've always loved children, and I feel very passionate as well about the importance of literacy. I was very fortunate growing up to be able to have a computer at a young age, to have even though my parents weren't big readers, they were able to supply me with all the books that I could ever want. So I definitely thank them for allowing me to be able to pursue my passion, which was reading. But, for those who might look at your story, Stacey, I think I want them to be inspired by the fact that you're just one person, and you are impacting so many lives, but you wouldn't have been able to do that if you hadn't taken those first steps. Now, part of your story, though, is that here you are, someone who is a mother yourself. And tell us about how Oprah inspired you. What was it about that kind of showed you that you're able to do what you're doing today?
Well, thank you for bringing that up. It was truly from a series of Oprah shows. I remember looking at the TV. I had worked in corporate America, spent 14 years, kind of being the entrepreneur within many large brands in corporate America. And once I became a mom, I knew that I was going to stay at home. My husband knew I was going to stay at home. And we had built an office in our house so that someday Stacey was going to start this office. She just didn't know what she was going to do yet, but we always knew that I would start something from home, that I would be able to do it around my family, around my kids. And so here I was. My kids at the time were 3 and 1, and Oprah had another show on Finding Your Passion. And so I remember screaming at the TV going, Oprah, I don't know what my passion is. And she was saying, talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors, talk to your husband, talk to your kids, and they'll tell you what your passion is. And it always came back to reading. I love to read. And so she was having a show called The Big Dream Show, and I was walking, because of another Oprah show, The Walking Buddy Show, I was walking with my walking buddy on Cedar Valley Road, and I had said to her, gosh, I wish I had an idea for Oprah's Big Dream Show. She's got this Big Dream Show coming up. And she did one of those Elaine moments from Seinfeld where she literally pushed me and said, how about that kindergarten book you can't find? One book for every grade that helps parents, kids, and teachers all get ready for school, that they're all on the same page. The minute she said it, I knew that's what I was going to do. And every step of the way, Oprah seemed to have a show on the